In this video, I am going to explain to you what my cost per mile is to run my truck, because when I book my next load, I want to make sure that I'm able to cover my expenses and then pay myself. So let's get into it. Keep in mind that I'm not including all expenses, just the main ones, and I'm not including EFTA.
Let's go over my expenses and see what we come up with. I've got my fuel at 57 cents a mile, my insurance at 22 cents a mile, oil change at 3 cents a mile, repairs 10 cents a mile, trailer note at 11 cents a mile, and the total expenses is $1.03 per mile. I'm going to go over these one by one to see what we come up with. So for my fuel, I average about 7 miles per gallon. Sometimes a little less, sometimes more, but on average, that's what I get. And on average, I pay $4 a gallon. Again, that's the average from the lowest to the highest. So $4 a gallon divided by 7 miles per gallon will equal 57 cents a mile. So on average, no matter if I'm empty or if I'm fully loaded, that's about what it's going to cost me. And that gets me real close to my cost. And that cost generally will not change and will stay constant. Now this next section, we're going to base on an average of 2,000 miles per week. Now the way I came up with that is I drive an average of 8,000 miles per month. So I do 8,000 divided by 4, gives you 2,000 miles per week. So this is just going to give us an idea of what our costs are going to be per week. It's not going to be exact, but it'll get us pretty close. So whatever your mileage that you average per week, just replace what I have with your number. Let's move on to insurance. My insurance is $1,600 a month. So $1,600 divided by 4 weeks is $400 a week. 400 divided by 2,000 miles equals 22 cents a mile. Now, if you do less miles, then your insurance cost is going to be more per mile. If you do more miles, it'll be less. Moving on to oil change. I get my oil change about every 2 months and it costs me $500. So I do 500 divided by 8 weeks. That gives me a weekly cost of $62.50 per week. And you divide that by 2,000 miles per week, and that's how I came up with 3 cents a mile. When it comes to unexpected repairs, let's say a tire repair or a blowout, I figured that at about 10 cents a mile. And so how I came up with that, I figured an average of $200 a week for unexpected repairs. Because if you have a blowout and you have emergency roadside service, it's going to cost you some money. Let's go on to my trailer note. It's $850 a month. So I take 850 divided by 4 weeks, and that gives me $212.50 a week for my trailer costs. You divide that by 2,000 miles per week, and that's 11 cents per mile. Now, if you have a truck note, you're going to have to add that cost in there the same way you did the trailer, and whatever other expenses that you can think of. Now that we have a pretty good idea of what it costs to run our truck, let's take a look at some examples. The first one is $2 a mile. Now my expenses are $1.03 per mile, and the profit would be 97 cents a mile. This would be the least that I would accept when booking a load. Example number 2, $2.50 a mile, same expenses, but now the profit is $1.47 a mile. Better, but let's look at some real money. Example number 3, $3 a mile. Now the expenses are the same, the profit is $1.97 a mile. Nice. And finally, example number 4, $4 a mile. The expenses again are the same, but now the profit is $2.97 a mile. So now that we determined what our cost per mile, our CPM is, now we need to determine what we need to make per mile, what I like to call YPM, you per mile, because you have to get paid too. We just can't be paying expenses. So let's say you average 2,000 miles per week and you need to make $2,000 per week. That would be $1 a mile. Well, you might need to make $2,500 a week. Then you need to make $1.25 a mile. But only you know what you need to make. So you're going to have to figure that out and plug the number in. I hope this video was able to help you determine your cost per mile so that when you book your next load, you're able to cover your expenses and also pay yourself. Please like and subscribe because it really helps my channel grow and I would really appreciate it. Look out for my next video 2 things you can do to lower your expenses. You guys have a great day.